What it do, y'all? It's Bernie Facts. Today we're gonna be doing this review about apparently the dark truth about Michael Jackson. We all got favorite idols and stuff, so we're gonna sit back and watch, and then I'll pause in between to see if some of it is true. It's a lot. Like MJ, my guy, we talking about Mister He. Like, you feel me? Shamow. Come on now, you feel me? We talking about him. But enough about me. Let's start this video.
The original was taken down, so chances are many of you haven't even seen this video. And for those that have, I have updated the quality and added some new information. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. The truth is, Michael Jackson is remembered as the king of pop and one of the greatest performers to ever live. Michael was literally the most famous man in the entire world, known by virtually everyone. The more famous Michael would become, the more controversy that would surround his name. He would go on to be accused of doing a lot of
See, I love Michael, but these the pictures that scared the shit out of me growing up. I ain't gonna cap. Like, you feel me?
disturbing things, some that people have come to believe weren't true. Were any of the accusations true, or was there a sinister conspiracy to get rid of Michael? Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was born August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, a town that is near Chicago. He was part of a big family, being the 8th child out of 10 children. Michael's parents were both everyday working class folks who did the best they could.
Nah, that family was crazy. If y'all ain't check into the Jackson 5, make sure y'all watch that movie. Because the reason why Michael and all them kids is the way they are is because of the father. He only wanted the best, but in reality, took a toll on them.
Of what they had. Michael grew up in a 2-bedroom house with all 10 of his siblings. Both of his parents were heavy into music, both active in local jazz bands when Michael was a child. In 1964, his father would start a group called the Jackson Brothers that consisted of Michael and his 4 brothers and was managed by their father, who Michael claimed mistreated him. According to Michael, his father would even tease him due to the appearance of his nose, telling Michael that he had a fat nose. Many people tend to say that Michael's father just did not.
Michael had a beautiful nose, man. It sucked how much words could hurt people, bruh. Like, Michael was beautiful. like he was beautiful, dog. He did all of that because of what he felt about himself. That sucked, bruh. Like, as parents, as people, as humans, let's just be nicer, bruh.
Like him, and would often show this while Michael was still young. Later that year, Michael was allowed to sing lead alongside of one of his brothers, Jermaine. This was when his father decided to change the group's name from the Jackson Brothers to the Jackson 5. In 1965, Michael's father entered the brothers into a talent show, which they would end up winning. Off the momentum of winning the talent show, his father managed to get the group booked for shows all over.
Look at their face, though. You could see they not enjoying. Look at Michael. Look at Michael. Oh, man, bruh. You could see everyone else faking it, but Michael, look at his face.
For the country, touring from 1966 to 1968. Michael's dad booked them for shows wherever he could, even booking the Jackson 5 to perform at clubs and cocktail lounges where they normally displayed adult dancers as the boys performed. In August 1967, the boys managed to win an amateur night at the Apollo in Harlem, New York. This would get the attention of Steeltown Records, who signed Michael and the Jackson 5, producing some records with them. Bobby Taylor, who was an artist at the time, brought the Jackson 5 to Motown after they opened for him at one of his shows. The Jackson 5 would go on to sign to Motown Records, being introduced to the world by Diana Ross in 1969 in the Miss Black America beauty pageant. The group would be praised by Rolling Stone, calling young Michael a prodigy. In 1970, the group would release their song.
Boy, you gotta love you some Michael. Despite anything about this video, Michael was a joy to watch. For real.
I Want You Back. This song became the group's first Billboard charting song, landing on the #1 spot and staying there for 4 weeks straight. In May 1971, off the success of the Jackson 5, Michael and his family managed to move into a 2-acre estate in California. By 1972, Michael had transitioned from a child star into a teen star, so the record labels used the opportunity to rebrand Michael as a solo act, even though he was still a part of the group. In 1975, Michael and his brothers left Motown Records and renamed themselves the Jacksons. They would continue touring internationally and would go on to release 6 more albums. In 1978, Michael moved to New York to star in the movie The Wiz. The movie was a box office failure. After this, Michael would go back to focusing on music, releasing
I didn't know he was in The Wiz. That's an
his
interesting
5th
fact.
solo studio album, Off the Wall, with the hit song Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, helping solidify Michael's solo career. We all know what happened after this. Michael went on to be the king of pop and the greatest performer alive. This is what you may already know about Michael Jackson, but the truth is far more sinister. I have come to the conclusion that Michael
That you see how the switch up, like, that's what scared me the most growing up being a fan of him. I ain't gonna cap. It's that switch up. Cause I used to have all his CDs, all his music. Like, I used to have all his shit, dog. Like, me, my godpops, and my pops, we would be grooving. He was a time. Every time it was Michael Jackson, he was performing, silence. We just had to watch the magic. So, like, although the switch up from, like, black to white happened and, like, you know, it ain't that big of a deal, it was a huge deal for me. It was like, I ain't gonna cap. I was looking in the mirror like, yo, how do you even do that? I didn't even know people were bleaching. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. We ridicule Michael, but y'all do know there's a whole culture around bleaching. Like, you feel me? So, like, be nice to the people. He just wanted to feel welcomed. As funny as it sounds, he probably just wanted to feel accepted. Probably by his dad or whoever he wanted to. But, like, come on now. The king of pop, man.
Michael Jackson took the Masonic oath. Just like many other artists we spoke about on this channel, we can find plenty of evidence that proves Michael was a Masonic puppet. Evidence that proves he was guided by the Masons since he was a child. In this photo, we can see Michael covering one of his eyes while making a triangle over his other eye, doing this Masonic pose even as a child. We can also see Michael doing the Masonic 666 hand gesture, or like we see in this photo where Michael is showing that he is sworn to secrecy. It's obvious that as a child, Michael was instructed to pose this way to represent the Masonic order. Michael would continue to do these Masonic poses even as an adult. In this photo here, we see Michael doing the Masonic one-eye symbolism, placing his hands over one of his eyes once again. In Michael's song Money, he talks about selling his soul for money and how people are willing to do evil for money. In the first verse of the song, Michael sings, "So you..."
Now, this true? Like, I know some of y'all, like, we live in a weird day and age where, like, fake raps and stuff is like fake rap. I mean, rap lyrics is like fake. So, you know, people be spinning, they not really spinning, they just hear it on another track and it sound good, so they put on this. Or, like, they got ops, but all they ops is imaginary. Like, you feel me? Like, shit like that. So, like, this, I don't even mean to sound like a little bit, you feel me? But, like, lyrics be true nowadays. Like, you feel me? Like, it seem like cap is the big thing. Like, you know, like, the people that's really doing it behind bars. I don't know, but let's look at the first verse. We're going to look at it with a naked eye. I ain't going to say it's not true. We just live in a lot of cap. That's what I believe in. You feel me? I'm not going to disapprove anything, but, like, he got his facts. We ready to listen.
I call it trust, but I say it's just.
You curious to see how I got paid?
Yo. Trying to pay bills, YouTube. We ain't with that. Yeah, I had to, you feel me, speed past that.
They don't care. They'll do it for the money. Michael even sings on the hook. Anything for money. Would lie for you. Would die for you. Even sell my soul to the devil. Openly, Michael admits that he indeed sold his soul to the devil. And the reason he did it was...
You want to know what's crazy? I don't know what Uzi song it was, but I'm listening and I'm just driving. He like, what he said something choke up, done demons. I'm like, base the story like he mixing choker with some symbolism, and I'm like, you know what? That's honestly wild to put in the lyrics. Like, let's not forget, we live in a world where God made it. So why you feel me? Like, I don't know. It always rubbed me the wrong way when, like, I listen to it. I ain't gonna be a hypocrite, but I gotta ease off them songs. I'll be like, yeah, I'm a demon this, demons around the corner. Like, I don't wanna be a demon. I wanna be an angel. You feel me? Like, what happened to I ain't even gonna say that. Let's continue. I ain't gonna say that.
For money. He admits that he's willing to do anything for money. He also states that his listeners would do anything for money too, as they have been brainwashed to worship money. We also see more Masonic imagery.
No, I would not do anything for money. As a matter of fact, I said no yesterday. Don't gotta know what to, but no.
Michael's Blood on the Dance Floor album cover, as it shows Michael standing over a Masonic checkerboard floor with a moon crescent on the top right corner, representing moon magic. We have seen the Masonic checkerboard floor shown through so many artists' music videos, and we know exactly what it represents. We find even more Masonic imagery in Michael's album cover for Dangerous, as it's covered in occultic imagery. In the album cover, we can find the Masonic all-seeing eye and the Masonic pillars of knowledge. The album cover also displays a child, as you can see, only being covered by an animal skull, being held.
Yo, that's Epstein right there. I don't care what no one say, that's Epstein right there.
By a giant hand. This image will become even more disturbing, as we know what Michael was accused of doing. Michael Jackson was sadly just another example of parents selling their children to the industry. Michael's dad was accused of doing many horrible things to him as a child. According to Michael, his dad didn't allow him to have a proper childhood. He claims that his father used to physically punish him for messing up during rehearsal. His father also allegedly teased him about his appearance. All of this made Michael very insecure about himself. According to
That is so sad, dog.
Jackson's physician, Conrad Murray, Michael's dad had forced him to undergo hormone treatment as a child to stop his voice from changing. Michael himself said that his father isolated him and mistreated him, which led Michael to developing a lot.
Yo, it's really you, my boy. Like, it's really you. Forgiveness is not something that could come easy for someone like you. I'm be very choosy with my words, because you did something to your own blood.
A lot of psychological issues.
Nah, I kind of believe it now. Like, you feel me? All this dark truth, because you sick. Like, I don't even want to know your name. I would do research, but I just need to know Michael name. Michael, Janet. You feel me? And the brothers, I'll look into them, because they ain't got nothing to do. But you sick, bro. Very sick.
Many people say this is why Michael had Neverland Ranch and why he liked to hang around children, because he was never given the opportunity to do so as a child. Michael's first scandal involving a child started in 1983. It was said that Michael convinced the child's family to trust him by gifting the family expensive gifts and inviting them on vacations, even letting them stay at his Neverland Ranch.
That's kind of weird, Michael. I ain't gonna cap. I get you at it rough, but like.
Shortly after this incident, the child's father, who was a Hollywood screenwriter and friends with Michael, filed a lawsuit on Michael seeking monetary compensation. After the child's father wasn't able to settle the situation with Michael, he filed criminal charges on Michael, which then prompted a police investigation into the incident. The police would conclude that these claims by Michael's staff were false, only being done to tarnish Michael's image.
Yeah, you wicked, bro. You wicked too. See, I was gonna say something like that, like, yo, y'all wicked, bro. Hold on.
Michael would ultimately settle the situation with the child's family outside of court for an undisclosed amount. Michael was also accused of doing similar disturbing things to 3 other children. And once again, he paid off all three of the families to have them drop the charges. People to this day argue whether if Michael truly did those evil things or not, since he was never convicted. But with us knowing the industry has a dark fascination with Aleister Crowley's beliefs, and Michael showing signs of being an occultist, you can easily see this could definitely be a possibility. Just like we've seen recently with the whole Balenciaga ad representing child offerings, things like this in the industry happen.
Yeah, that was weird. Put me on, gang. I'm here to listen. That was weird. Like, there's certain stuff I think I know, but put me on. Teach me, my nigga. That was weird as hell, bro. That Balenciaga offer.
Those in the industry participate in these disturbing behaviors. A lot of people think Michael was against the agenda, but I don't really see that. We must understand that with the amount of power and influence Michael had, there's no way the Freemasons.
Look at that beautiful man, bro. And I'm not gay. Like, look at that, bro. Y'all made him feel like he wasn't enough. Yo, y'all messed up, bro.
Wouldn't have been behind him. It's obvious Michael sadly was a puppet since a child. He was sold to the industry by his father. Michael was just too popular to not be controlled by the Masonic order. The Freemasons always find themselves involved in anything that reaches the masses. If you were to ask me, I think when it comes to that...
Y'all want to know a fun fact? That little crater you see in the eye, that's a little detail used to... So, like, if you're looking at it from a far distance, it make it look like the eyes are real. So that little crater in the middle is just a specific design technique that people who into sculpting or art use to kind of bring the image to life.
Involved in anything that reaches the masses. If you were to ask me, I think when it comes to the accusations, they could be true, as even Michael's sister LaToya Jackson publicly said her brother was guilty of doing those very disturbing things. The reason I believe Michael ended up being the way he was is due to what he was put through as a child, especially his relationship with Diana Ross, who was 14 years older than him. It's disturbing to know that she met Michael when he was only 9 years old.
That's weird. Y'all can say what y'all want, but kids hanging out with kids is normal. Adults hanging out with kids is weird. Like, why are you around my kid as an adult? Unless there's other kids involved, then there's an adult that merits that situation. Like, you feel me? Like, supervise the kids, not one kid. You feel me? Like, I feel like that's weird. How everyone is just okay with leaving their kid in one person's hand. You don't even like to spend time with one person, and you want your kid to grow up and what with that one person. Just, I don't know. For me, I know with my kid, he's gonna be around kids. That's just a normal thing to do. And if he needs supervision and I'm not available, I'll make sure he's in trustful hands, because it's about the kids, man. Like, it ain't really about us after we get to a certain age. It's about protecting that second generation. Because look at what that could do. It's just sad. He was 9 when he met Diana.
And she moved Michael in with her for a year. Michael would allegedly call Diana his mama and his girlfriend. She introduced...
What the hell? I just finished talking about that. You done moved him in for the year? Nah, put me on. I'm done talking.
Introduced Michael to the mainstream world and did God knows what to him. In my opinion, Michael could have definitely been guilty of all those accusations. I 100% believe Michael was a part of the Masonic order. But I think just like Kanye...
Yeah, bro, put into perspective a year. I was living a year with my stepmama, and it felt like 80 years, bro. I felt like I could never leave that place. And kudos to her and stuff like that. Like, no disrespect. It's just, when you're not in a situation that's not for you or uncomfortable, sometimes the time that seems short is longer than what you expect it to be. Like, imagine that year being with Diana Ross. You get what I mean? Like, at 9 years old. Think about the perspective. Like, he looking at her like a superhero for fake. Like, my dad was my superhero when I was 9. You get me? Kobe was my superhero when I was 9. So just think about it from his point of view. He's seen and all that. He probably know a lot of big name people, and boom, Diana Ross, your mommy. And your girlfriend at what, 11? Like, what type of.
In today's world, Michael started problems for the industry that ended up costing him everything. Michael started to think that he was too big to play the games by their rules. He started getting too big and gaining too much power for the Masons' liking, and they tried to force Michael to give up that power. He started beefing with Sony Records, who were trying to force him to sell his music.
See, I knew something sinister was going on. And I'm going to say this right now. Why every great person that passed away going through something with some big company? I'm not going to name drop, but why every time someone about to get one-upped, you kill them? Like, I ain't trying to laugh about it, but like, ain't it about competition, my nigga? Like, in basketball, we don't break people's legs for no reason. I hope not. That's why we ridicule Pat Bev sometimes, because it looked like that, but he not out here trying to hurt people. He just out here competing. Why in the music industry, people want their stuff, you kill them?
Catalog. When Michael
Don't kill me. I feel like I gotta say, don't kill me before I play that. Yo, I'm just, you feel me, talking my shit. Don't kill me.
refused. By doing this, he made himself a target. Michael had bought ATV Records for $47.5 million years back, which had the rights to the Beatles catalog. When he was still on good terms with Sony, he decided to sell half of the company to them for $95 million.
$69.
Damn. Hold on, we'll be back after this. Alright, Michael was on some. That's some revenge shit right there. I ain't gonna cap. Like, you feel me? Like, hold on, we'll be back. Alright, y'all. That's crazy. Hold on.
He created Sony/ATV Music Group, which today owns the rights to artists like Lady Gaga, Bob Dylan, Taylor Swift, and many others. When Sony did this, it technically made Jackson 50% owner of Sony/ATV. Jackson still owned the rights to the Beatles music and many other artists, approximately 4,000 or more hit songs. The record label was not happy with this at all. They saw
Now it would be tight. Y'all would be tight. Nah, no cap, I would be tight. Alright, but we still shouldn't kill people if we get to that point, gang. Like, I understand. Like, he fucking with everybody money. Yo, Michael, you gotta love him. I ain't gonna cap. But let's be honest here. The real issue is y'all killed him. Like, that is it, bruh.
Michael having too much power as an individual and saw him as a threat. This is when Michael was seen beefing with Sony, calling Tony Mottola the devil. Tony was the CEO of Sony at the time and a man with massive power.
Calling him ugly. Oh, I was not ready for that pick. Like, calling him ugly and stuff. Y'all remember this, bruh. I'm like, what, young as hell, bruh. I don't know what's going on. Been watching a courtroom thing. Son nose is falling live, bro. I cried. I didn't know what was going on, bro. I was a little kid. I cried. I was like, yo. This is crazy, dog. Like, I can't even explain that feeling.
Sony slowly began destroying Michael's public image, using their media friends. Many think the child accusations were created by the record label in order to tarnish his image, to make him go broke and sell his share of the company. When Michael still refused to sell his share of the label, it cost him everything. Many people believe that Michael Jackson was taken out by Sony using his doctor, and in my opinion, I believe this is what happened to him. What makes this even stranger is that it appears that Michael...
Of course, I believe it too. You know why? Because Bob Marley, yeah, I know. It went from Michael Jackson to Bob Marley, but Bob Marley received some poison too in his toes. That's grimy. All he wanted to do was play soccer, and y'all poisoned the man's shoes? Come on, dog. Like, for music? If music is that powerful, why not, like, you feel me, try to incorporate it in a productive way so you could, like, you know, hold someone without killing them? I don't know, food for thought.
Michael's doctor is a Freemason. In my opinion, it seems that Sony got to the doctor in order to take care of Michael, which the doctor ended up doing. The moment that they wanted Michael out of the picture, they started to destroy his public image, and they planned his ending, taking him out of the picture entirely. 7 years after Michael's passing, they were able to buy the rest of Sony ATV music from
Yo, them two kids, man, like, Michael should have had some real babies.
Michael's estate for a lot less than what it was worth. Many
I don't care, I'ma say it. He should have had some, but we needed a part 2. Them not it.
members of Michael's family believe that Michael was targeted and indeed taken out. Michael is a clear example of what the industry does to children. They strip them of their innocence and make them embrace a lifestyle at such a young age that clearly has a negative effect on these young stars. Michael had it bad since the beginning. His father would mistreat him, and he was stripped of his childhood. At 9 years old, he was already doing God knows what with Diana Ross. She used Michael, and Michael went on to do the same to others. The industry is the devil's playground. The devil wants to convince the world to join him in his rebellions against God.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one hell of a video.
The best way to do this is by using artists like Michael Jackson to corrupt the morals of the masses. Michael was able to influence so many people and was starting to acquire too much power. This very thing led to his demise. He took the oath and dedicated his life to spreading an agenda for the Masons, a decision that ultimately cost him everything. If you choose to listen to
What agenda? I keep hearing this word agenda. Isn't God the agenda? Like, why we, what agenda? Like, I hope y'all not really believing in immortality. Like, even if it was a thing, like, you don't want to see God? Like, what agenda? What's so big about this agenda? It gives us a couple more days to, be in this? I'm being purely honest with you. Ain't nothing wrong with the way we maneuver in society, but if there's something better than this, like, you fucking telling me God is gonna make everything right? Nigga, clock me out when I'm done, please. I don't need to be here for whatever agenda. The person that made this got an agenda already. So what agenda y'all pushing? I know I'm not trying to ramble, but like, oh, it confused me. I'm like a little baffled. What agenda? This shit confusing.
these artists' music, we must remember what agenda is set deep in the core.
And when I say what agenda, I mean like what is bigger than God? That is what I mean. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, like, okay, like, is it bigger than God? Like, nigga, you go to the casket and you take none of this Swiss shit, bro. So what agenda is every exec really pushing right now? To pass it on to your kids? Because you for sure getting clocked out. That is something that's guaranteed. Unless you're trying to, like, slow that process down. Hey, but you clocking out soon. No matter what time, you gonna clock out.
Of these songs, we must not allow them to manipulate our minds and to guide us to a burning end. Like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
That was an amazing video. Yo, go check this dude page out. I've been watching it for a minute. The truth is, I always want to start my own channel. This is like the first video. I want to do reaction videos to this because there's a lot of shit that I just, like, what are you talking about, man? Like, and then you be putting me on. Like, I'm just talking to you, like, the truth is, like, you be putting me on. So, look, I know your motto, spread the word, speak the truth. Those who don't know it, help them find it. I ain't gonna say I'm on that journey, but I'll be reviewing a lot of your videos to start out, and I'll hope to spread awareness, not truth. I don't know what truth is. All I know is God is God. Like, he do amazing things. I hope y'all find, like, y'all niche in what God does for you. Like, I ain't here being a preacher. Look, if you don't want to follow him, hey, look, I'm just fearful of what I'll do if I continue listening to certain things. Like a fearful man of who he worship, I'll take that any day over someone who is fearless of death. Yeah, you crazy, my nigga. You crazy. Like, what you mean you're not scared? Like, that means you're not scared to sin. Like, you gotta be scared to sin. You gotta be conscious every minute, my boy. Like, conscious. Like, you see your soul at risk every day. And not even from executives, just on a day-to-day basis. You can see someone ready to just crash out. More prevalent today than any other day. So, the truth is, YouTube, Bernie facts, and the fact of the matter is, we live in a sick world. I'm not going to put no labels on it, but like, yo, control your mind. Ain't on no Andrew Tate shit, but like, make sure you got a good handle of your own mind, cause I don't know, and I'll leave it at that. I don't know what this is. But protect your soul, protect your energy, and make sure y'all moving accordingly. Like, comment, subscribe, and anything y'all want to leave in the comments, let me know.